My view on life completely changed after I visited this place. It was January, very cold winter in Poland, you can imagine. Temperature really added to how the place felt like hell. It was one of the most meaningful days I've ever spent in my life. There I learned how we cannot take life for granted, how terrible war is, how the scariest thing in the world is not ghosts or tigers, it's actually human nature, it's something inside all of us. I also learned that everything we have now can change any second. I'm from Nanjing in China, and we had the Nanjing massacre. Basically Japanese soldiers killing a bunch of Chinese people in very cruel ways and doing human experiments on people that are alive, and all these terrible things that I really don't even want to talk about, because as someone from Nanjing, it's so painful to even imagine that. And so I kind of relate to the victims of the Holocaust in a way that when I stepped into the memorial, when I saw all these luggages, it was a very memorable scene in my head, was seeing all these prosthetics of real humans, luggages with names written, and sometimes the names were written in colorful, cute fonts because they belonged to children, and how all of the owners of those luggages were brutally murdered in gas chambers, or they died of labor and cold and disease in the concentration camp. I mean, it was such a difficult time there. It was very disturbing, but really glad I visited that place because it taught me to not wait and just do things I want when I can, because right now the world is in such a unstable position. Like, I'm 20 right now. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, man, but I don't know much about politics, but I'm pretty sure I'll probably see like a major war before I die. So I stopped making this mistake, which a lot of young people have, is that we have unlimited time. We have all the time in the world to wait, and to wait for the perfect moment to do things, to take the trip or whatever. I'm doing it right now because I could die any moment, and it's a bit pessimistic to say this. You can call me nihilistic or whatever, but that's why I love traveling, is that it just updates my view on life consistently. And visiting Auschwitz-Birkenau, I love. I don't know why. I live in Hong Kong. It's such a long way to go to Poland, but I did, and I loved and hated every second of it. One of the most memorable moments that really hit me was when I learned the tour guide said that the victims, prisoners in the camp in negative 30, 40 Celsius winters, they were allowed one layer of linen. And the winters before used to be a bit colder than now because of global warming. When I went there, it was about negative 10 Celsius, and I was wrapped around in wool, and I had the Uniqlo heat tech, underneath, and then I had a layer of cotton hoodie and then wool underneath, and a down jacket and another down jacket, and I had good leather boots. I had a beanie, gloves, everything, but they had nothing, and so it's just so hard to imagine. And they're just humans like us, how can you do this to another person? How can you do this to another person? And that's the scary part. You can also do this to another person, because the perpetrators of such war crimes was not particularly evil. They were not very evil. They were not these villains that you see in movies. They were just normal day-to-day people like us. They were able to do that because they're put under a specific political climate and brainwashed in a certain way. So you and I are capable of the same thing. That's the scary thing about this. And whenever I think about this, I get goosebumps. Like, I don't even know will people watch this video, but if anyone sees this video, just you have to be aware of history. It's so important. Holy shit. If you've not visited this memorial, or you're not really familiar with this part of history, I strongly recommend you go visit, where you learn a little bit about this and you educate people around you about it, because it's so important. With the world being quite a mess now, we have to spread awareness on how detrimental war can be, how as humans, if we hate each other, if we lose our humanity, we will become the most terrifying devils that has ever been portrayed by any fiction.